Hello, hello. Hope everybody's doing well. I am playing a game at the same time. So if you guys have any questions, that's fine. I'm gonna look down every now and then. So hi, hello, and welcome, boils and ghouls and all the creeps in between. Midnight Cryptworx here. Hope everybody's having a great day or night, whatever you are at currently. Just a witchcraft and tarot Q&A. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything. I am not doing readings right now, but if you want to consider subscribing to me, I do give free 3-card readings to all my subs whenever I do read tarot on live. Okay, so just something to think about. But I am playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey right now. So that's fun. So if y'all hear that in the background, that's what's going on. If it bothers you guys that I'm playing a game at the same time, I'll stop. It's fine. But yeah, we're just here chilling. Have a seat. There's plenty of space on the altar. Gather around and let's have a discussion. Anybody have any questions regarding tarot, witchcraft, any respectful conversations, questions? Who really is Lucifer? I don't know. Yeah, but why would I know that? I don't know the Bible very well, so I have no idea. If you mean like who is he really, I don't know. Lucifer's just Lucifer. I'm not sure what you meant by that. But I do not the Bible, like the real Lucifer. I again don't know what you mean. I don't worship Lucifer or anything, so I don't know what you mean by that. I'm pretty sure he's related to my neighbor. Well, dang. You don't have to talk smack about Lucifer like that. Like, no. But that's funny. Let's hope I don't die, because somebody saw me. Okay, they're definitely gonna kill me now. I'll try to, because they just saw me assassinate somebody. So, I'll turn this down if it's too loud, you guys. Just let me know. You ain't got me, I got you. Okay. Hello, come on in. Let me turn this down, actually, yeah. How does one reverse what has been done to them? Is there a way? Are you talking about spell work? Does somebody do spell work on you? Is that what you mean, Vinny? By the way, I don't know if I said this or not, but I am playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is like the Greece-inspired one. Witchcraft. Okay. So there's many ways to like reverse. You can do a return to sender spell that would kind of like, whatever they did to you, put onto them, right? You can do some magic back. How am I evil, David? There's actually a lot of ways. Yeah, I would look it up, just because that's the only advice I can give you, just because I don't share my spell work and stuff online too much. But I can kind of give you advice on how to go with it. If you want to DM me, I would absolutely answer that question more in depth if you need help, okay? I haven't played Assassin's Creed in a long time. Got me wanting to fire. You should do it. It's on PC too, so yeah. These demons ain't your friend. What demons are you talking about? How is witchcraft not evil? Are you serious? How is it evil? Yeah, regardless of how long it's been. It might be a little harder if it's been a while. Thank you for the follow. But it definitely can be done. Absolutely. Absolutely. Smoking doinks. How is it evil? Because witchcraft is just a tool. It's just a practice. So it really depends on how it's being used, right? Same with tarot. You know, a knife can be a tool for doing bad things, or it can be a tool for cutting up vegetables. You know what I mean? It depends on who's wielding this stuff. No spell to make you big. Wait, no spell to not make you big. Are you telling me I'm fat, John? Because that's very childish. And if you see right here, it's 18 plus. I don't deal with children. Thank you for the roses. Oh, hold on. I got something. I forgot to grab this. Yeah, people say I'm fat all the time. I'm actually going to the gym, and I know I'm a bit overweight, and I am actively working on myself. So, John, are you doing anything to work on yourself? Because bullies have a lot of issues when somebody just comes up here and just calls somebody fat. That's an internal issue. So I encourage you to work on yourself, to be honest. Vespers, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you. And for the roses. Yay, thank you for the roses. These are rose petals. Woohoo! Yes, I'm making a mess, but it's worth it for you guys, okay? And yes, it is rude, I agree, but this is the internet. People, you know, they don't care who they hurt, you know. As long as they hurt somebody, that's a bully rule, and that kind of sucks. But thank you, Vesper. Thank you so much. When I do tarot lives, Vesper, you get a free 3-card reading. Thank you so much. What are you up to? I'm new here to your channel. Thank you for the follow. We're just talking about witchcraft and tarot. If you have any questions, comments, as long as you are respectful and, you know, 18 plus. And I mean both physically and mentally. No disrespect to, you know, anybody who can't help it, but I'm talking about the adults who act like children for the most part. So we're just chilling. You are not fat at all, but good for you on the workout. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. That's really nice of you. I appreciate that. But yeah, listen, I go to the gym, like I try. But the thing is, when people come on here and say stuff like that, you know, they don't know that some people have medical conditions that they can't help but be overweight, you know, like they don't know, and it's really weird. I don't have any friends in real life, no girlfriend. I'm sorry to hear that. I don't have many friends either. I'm old and I've never had my cards read. Oh, nice, Joe. Well, if you want, you can consider subscribing to me. I do these lives almost every day lately. And this is just a Q&A. But I do live tarot readings. So if you would like a free tarot reading, I do a free 1-card pool. You can always come back, you know, when I'm doing those things. Or if you would like, you can subscribe, and all my subscribers get a free 3-card reading whenever I do those lives, because I'm setting some time at the end of those lives to do, you know, give my subscribers a free reading. So it might be something you want to consider. Do you acknowledge that Christ is real? Yeah, sure. Weren't you arrested for fraud 2 to 4 years? No, I've never been arrested. You're talking about the wrong person. I've never been arrested. But yeah, do I wash cars too? Hold on 1 second. No, I think you got the wrong person. 1 second, okay? Somebody's trying to talk to me. 1 second. Let me mute. Okay, sorry, my mom came in. Let me go up a little bit. Why are you asking me about all these like jobs? You have to be careful. It seems innocent, but it's demonic. No, it's not demonic. Yeah, it's not demonic. And yes, I acknowledge that the Christian God is probably real. I'm very agnostic. So my guess is as good as yours, right? Nobody knows for sure. But I'm also polytheistic, so I believe in multiple gods. So I believe that the Christian God can be real, sure. We just don't get along. I don't like him. I don't like what he stands for. I don't like how controlling he is. I don't condemn anybody who worships him at all. But me and him don't see eye to eye. Nah. Mm-mm. Nah, I'd rather not. But that's just me. So yeah. Oh, thank you for the share too. If you guys can tap my screen, just so more people can come in here if they have questions, if they are respectful, then we can have a conversation. Again, 18 plus, I don't tolerate children. I believe the exact same way. I find it hard explaining that to people. Yeah, I mean, nobody knows for sure. Obviously, there's no proof of anything. It's a belief, right? So yeah, I mean, I feel like anybody's belief can be true, sure. But do I personally want to worship a God like the Christian God? No, not at all. Because I don't like what he stands for. And the Bible, I don't know about but men wrote the Bible, right? And apparently the Bible doesn't want me to live. So why would I worship a God like that? I'm a realist, so I look at all aspects and assert common sense. Yeah, that's fair. Absolutely, Joe. Definitely fair. Because your guess is as good as mine, and vice versa. So, yeah. Okay, let's see, where am I going? Do you have any questions, Joe, about tarot, about how it works? I know you said you've never gotten a reading before, so and some exciting news at my local at one of my local witchy shops. They are putting together a psychic fair next month. It just announced it, and I will be at the event reading tarot for you guys, so that's fun. How am I a con artist, John? I'm not asking anybody for anything. I'm not telling anybody anything that I can't accomplish or do. So how, John, am I a con artist? And are you the one that was asking me all these questions? Why are you asking me all these questions and stuff? I'm sorry, Pander, I am actually not taking requests on panel. But if you have a question, you can put it in chat. It's all good. The only reason is because I'm playing a game and it's kind of hard to keep up, to be honest. So I apologize, Banter Bros, but you're welcome to put anything in the chat. That sounds like it would be a lot of fun. When is the event? Yeah, November 4th. So it hopefully there'll be a lot of people and stuff, but again, it's like a local thing that they're putting on, so it's not like a touring thing, so it might not be what am I trying to say, as popular maybe as it would have been if it was like a touring event, you know what I mean? But it should be fun either way. I'm so excited. This is my second event I've done reading tarot, so thank you for the follow. Hello, Kat. Hello from England. How do you do your witchcraft? Well, lots of ways. I do candle magic, I do spell work, meditation, traveling, yeah, I mean, I'm not really understanding what you mean by that. Oh, how do I read? Yeah. I can actually explain how I read. Hi, years ago I met a witch. It was okay for a while because I had an affair. She made me... Okay, Donnie, whatever. Okay, so how I read tarot is, this is... I apologize, y'all. I keep getting a call, so if you can just bear with me 1 second, I will answer your question. Let me text her. Hold on 1 second. I just want to make sure it's not an emergency. Sister calls me twice in a row. It might be an emergency, so I don't know. I might have to go, but we'll see. So how I read tarot. Okay, so I don't believe in fate. I don't believe in destiny. I believe that we make our own path, our own future, blah blah, right? So I don't believe it's set in stone. So with that, when I read tarot, I can read you the future that has the most energy behind that future. So what I mean about that is that, you know, our choices, our you know, people's choices that are around us can impact the future that I will give you in a reading. So tarot reading is never 100%. Spell work is never 100%. I never ever claim to do that. And if anybody ever does, they are lying to you and they just want your money. First of all, okay, I'm very transparent with what I can do and what I can't do. So that's pretty much how I read. I basically, you know, it depends on what question you have. If you have a question, if not, I just do a general reading. I'll just pull some cards and, you know, read what the cards have to say, because each card has a meaning almost. Sometimes that meanings can change with the question and the cards that surround that card. So it's very kind of complex, you know what I mean? And I also use like my intuition and things that come into my head when I'm reading. A lot of the times it's just metaphors, you know, that I will tell my client, you know, like, this isn't what I'm, you know, this doesn't mean that this is going to happen, but this is just the metaphor that they're giving me, basically. So how I read is, some readers, will just read the energy of the other person, of the client, right? But I don't like to do that, because there's some things that can happen when I personally do that, and I want to avoid that. So what I do is I ask my spirit guides to contact their spirit guides, and then they relay the message to me through the cards. So that way I'm not touching anybody else's energy. I have a middleman, basically, to let me know the messages. Okay, so I really hope that makes sense, and answers some questions. And please tap that screen, please. Does it have anything to do with supernatural forces, devil, jinns? Are you talking about tarot or witchcraft? Witchcraft, you can have the aid of supernatural forces if you want. But I believe that we all have our own power. I have my own power I've worked on to build and hone and learn how to use. But I can absolutely ask aid from something supernatural if I felt compelled to, or if I wanted to, right? But tarot, inherently, I don't, I guess I do use supernatural means to read tarot, because I am using spirit guides. So, do you believe in the devil? Are you talking about the Christian devil? I think it's possible. I'm agnostic. Sure. I mean, it's possible. Do I believe in the Christian God? Yes, I believe it's possible. Again, do we get along? No, I don't really like the Christian God. But if you're talking about Lucifer as in the devil, then yeah, I think Lucifer could be real, sure. And I am on Lucifer's side when it comes to the battle, if you will, of, you know, what happened. But that's just my opinion, because, in my opinion, I feel like the Christian God is very controlling and wants you to kind of be in this little bubble, and which is almost impossible to be in. So yeah, I was hoping you could read my cards and be like, pick these numbers and you will win a lot. Yeah, I wish it was like that, Joe, but you have to remember, like, this isn't Harry Potter, the movies. If it was like that, I would be rich as fuck, right? A lot of people would be. And Joe, it's okay. I get that all the time, but my life would be a lot different, let me tell you. If it was boom, you know? So you'd side with the devil against God. Well, yeah, because, I mean, why did God cast out the devil then? Because he didn't agree with him, because he had his own mindset, his own thinking, right? And he didn't want to conform. So why should you conform? To me, Lucifer, if that's who we're talking about, because you got to understand, Satan, Lucifer, and the devil are three completely different entities here. So if you believed in hell, would you be okay to end up there because you sided with the devil? I don't believe in hell, no. That's one thing I don't believe in. So, I've had lots of friends read cards, and why I said that, I've just never had mine right. Yeah, I feel you. But Banter, you understand that the devil, Satan, and Lucifer are not the same thing, right? Lucifer got cast out. Why? Do you know why? So you don't believe that God judges us. I believe that if you believe God does, then yes. But me, no, I don't believe God can judge me. Absolutely. Not the Christian God. No. Actually, I don't believe any God can judge me. I mean, they can judge me, but they can't touch me. Yeah. And if I'm wrong and I die and he sends me to hell or whatever, then it is what it is. But as far as it is right now, he can't touch me. That's just my opinion. But if he has a power to create you, don't you think he could make you suffer internally? I don't think he created me. I don't think he created me. And why would Banter, you said, if he has the power to create you, don't you think he can make you suffer internally? Okay, so why would you worship a God that would make you suffer internally? That's what I don't like. I would never worship a God like that. So what do you believe God is? It depends. There's a lot of gods. That's my point. There's a lot of them. Did you know that there were many gods before the Christian God? Ancient Egyptian gods, all kinds of different gods, you know. How is their religion much older than Christianity? People don't bring that up. Yeah. I mean, we have proof that these people existed before Christianity, so how do you really explain that? Because God builds morals in us from fear of his power. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't want any God to make me fear him just so I would have morals. That's preposterous to me. I'm sorry. That's ridiculous. That's a scare tactic. And that's why I don't like Christian God. That's fine if he's your creator. That's fine. But he's not mine. He's not my God. Am I against the police? We're not talking about the police. I'm not sure where you're getting at. Because I have opinions about the police that, to be honest, I don't want to argue about or get into right now.
I send some guards to Hades.
Yeah, that's fine. But I, to be honest, I don't want to answer you because, again, I do have opinions on the police, and I don't want to argue that right now. So, Banter, if you could, I would appreciate you not asking me that again because I don't want to talk about that, please. We are talking about witchcraft or tarot. Okay, why can't I go through that? There we go. Oh God, I'm out in the open. Crap. They're gonna see me. Okay. But yeah, like I said, I just personally, I don't agree with a God who would scare tactic me into worshiping him and the illusion of a internal suffering. To me, that's like very abusive. But that's my opinion. Who do you think created us? Just out of curiosity. I have no idea. I have no idea who created us. The universe could have always just been, you know. We don't have to have a creator. It could have just always been here. What's your concept of God? I don't know, because there's different gods. So, you know, it depends on what you're talking about, really. Yeah, no one knows for a fact, right? God to me isn't really a creator. They can be, but to me, a God is just a very powerful being that is kind of beyond our experience. You said you're agnostic, meaning you think God may be real. Yeah, I told you, I don't have the answers. It could be real, yeah. And I said I do believe in the Christian God, yes, but I don't like him. I don't worship him. He's not the only God in my belief. And there's way better ones. We actually don't have evidence, no. We have the Bible. We have people that have kind of said, yes, I'm polytheistic, yes. We have people that have said these things happen, but we don't actually have proof. I think we have proof Jesus existed and died, but not proof of God. Well, I thought agnostic just meant you don't know. Like, you just don't know. That's what I thought it meant. Am I been saying the wrong term this whole time? I don't think so. Let me just make sure that that's what agnostic means. Oops. Okay. No, Elle, I'm trying to make sure, like, I'm right too, because now you're making me think differently. Okay, so agnostic, a person who holds the view that any ultimate reality such as God is unknown and probably unknowable. Broadly, one who's not committed to believing in either the existence or non-existence of God. Basically, we just don't know. Basically, you know, it could be, but it couldn't be. Like, there's no way to know. So yeah, I think we are a little both right. Yeah. It's not possible for everyone to coincidentally agree to lie about these stories. Well, man made these books, right? So he could have wrote whatever he wanted. I mean, yeah, back then, and to be honest, I do believe that mass hysteria can be a thing sometimes. But that's not proof. And the appeal Islam has to a human due to the ease of mind it gives. Okay. I feel you, Elle. I mean, I don't blame you. Yes, but not generations upon generations. Yeah, it could happen. That's what religion is. Banter. That's what religion is. It's like tradition, right? It's passed down. That doesn't mean it's real. still a belief. You know, if it was real, then don't you think we'd have evidence in the year 2023? Maybe not, I don't know, but it's still, to the core, it's still a belief. Have you searched up for evidence according to Islam? No, I haven't, but if there was evidence for God, we would know it. The problem is people expect God to come to you and say he is God. I don't think, for me personally, I'm looking for that. Just some kind of proof. I don't know. We do know it, but people don't sincerely seek it. I did. When I was Christian, I did sincerely seek it. I found somebody I didn't like. People sincerely seek it, they will find it by God's will. Okay, well then God don't like me either, apparently. So it's mutual. Yeah, good question now. Yep. And I don't yeah, it depends on the God. I don't really think there's gender among gods, but you know, people put gender on things, and that's just how we are, and that's how we can interpret things like this, right? Labels. Humans love to label things, so because he is referred to as he in the book of his words. Okay, but it was still man-made. So I'm not sure where you're getting at. I apologize if I'm just dumb and missing it or something. Again, I grew up Christian loosely. That means that my family believed in Christianity, but never forced anything on me, thank goodness. So I've never read the Bible or anything. I don't know much about it. And to be honest, I don't care for it, because again, I don't like him. But hey, if you believe it, that's fine. Like, my best friend in the world, my sister, she is Christian, you know, and she just loves everybody, and she accepts me. She's never called me evil a day in my life. She's just amazing, you know, so I don't hate Christians at all. I just don't like the God. He's very controlling and manipulative. The book was written by man or revealed by God. You don't have proof of that. You believe that. Revealed by an angel. Okay. But don't you think that will end up in regret if it does end up being real? That's kind of my problem, isn't it? Like I said this earlier. If I'm wrong and, you know, he casts me to hell or whatever the fuck, then I got to deal with it. But now, when I have my own free will, I refuse to worship a God that would just send me to hell because I don't love him or I don't worship him. I refuse. If I don't worship anybody on this planet, I sure as hell ain't gonna worship some God that was, you know, that I don't even know exist and then send me to hell. Not this one. Not me. So people actually met up with God and got his book from him. Apparently. But hell is not something you just deal with. Hell is pain beyond our comprehension. Okay, Banter. So, do you have a body in hell? Because I thought when you die, you don't have a body anymore. So how do you feel pain without a body? Therefore, us as humans logically should do anything to avoid that. Banter, you are extremely correct. You know what that is called? That is called a scare tactic. That is what religion does to you. They say, you know, this could be real. You could go to hell, so you must worship this to spare yourself. That is a scare tactic. That is why I do not worship that fucking God. That is exactly why. I refuse for somebody to manipulate me like that. Hell no. But that's my opinion. That's just my opinion. But you proved where I'm going with this. You really did. Hi, Olivia. But I would love to know, Banter, how do we feel internal pain if we don't have a body when we die? Supposed to do here, so I'm just gonna walk around and figure it out. Okay, let me go up. I think people focus on God punishment and not on his mercy. What mercy? Our souls are taken from our bodies to the afterlife. Exactly. So how do you suffer internally if you don't have a body? How does your soul suffer? As I said, a body is not necessary. Okay, well then how do you suffer? You said hell is internal suffering. Then how do you suffer? And I think you tagged yourself in that comment. It must have been a mistake. I've done it before. But I'm just letting you know. Okay, so yes, I need to kill this guy. Oh shoot, he caught me. Fuck. You hear that? Sorry guys, give me a second. Oh my god. What is that? Roar! Got him.
2 strongholds down. Now I just need to find these barracks Mother spoke of.
Got him.
She said they were
Okay. Roar, right? Because just as God created the world, he can create a reality for you where you feel pain without a body. Oh, okay. Interesting and convenient. So again, why would a loving God do that? He's all loving, right? Why would he do that to somebody? That is awful. He gave us free will, right? So we can choose whether to, or not to love him. So why would he make a hell where you suffer eternally just because you chose one? If he's all powerful, why did he let us choose? Because he tests us through our patience and will to do good. No, but it's not about just doing good and patience. It's about worshiping him. It's about loving him, isn't it? I mean, to me, that's a terrible thing to do. I would never, like, there's some people that I strongly, well, one person, I'll say, that I strongly, like, hate with all my heart. I probably wouldn't do that to him. Doing good is worshiping him because it does good for yourself. Okay, but if he gives you free will, It's not even really a choice by your logic earlier, because you're scared into worshiping him. So is it really a choice? Like, let's say I have a pew pew to my head, and somebody says, get on your knees. And if you don't get on your knees, you're going to get a pew pew in your brain, right? So how is that a choice? You can either choose to get on your knees or not. But is that fair? Is that a fair choice? Or is that a scare tactic? Who would devote their entire life to some that threatens them? That's what I'm trying to understand. Think about it. If God is all powerful, why would he need you? It's not just about fearing him. So God isn't all powerful? Is that what you're saying? Grateful that he's not sending me to hell? Thanks. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm really not. I'm just, this topic just, yeah, it doesn't sound very nice. Why would he want somebody to suffer if he is all powerful? He can just put that all away, can he? He is all powerful, therefore worshiping him is for us, not for him. Okay, not all life is great. Like, I don't know. If we're in this app speaking happily with food and water. Okay, so we should be happy for the bare minimum? And if he is all powerful, couldn't he just make us not need food or water and not starve and not have babies starving all the time and dying or unaliving, and getting these horrible diseases? And like, I'm sorry, I don't get it. Maybe hell has great food and gaming consoles, and that's why he thought, maybe. No, because that would defy the point of us being tested. Why test us? Why is he so gung-ho on testing people? To me, that's very manipulative. Why? Because why would we be worthy of an eternal life in paradise? Why not? He made us. Why wouldn't we? Why do we have to be tested? That is so weird to me. He made us, right? So, and even after we pass the test, we are still not worthy of paradise? What? Then why even try to pass the test if you're not worthy still? What? I'm sorry, banter, but that's unbelievable. So you can't even pass the test. I'm dumbfounded, I have to admit. Banter, you really don't think that's manipulative? I'm saying passing the test allows us to enter. You said sometimes we're not even worthy of passing the test. Did I read you right? Like, hold on. Because, hold on. Even after we pass the test, we are still not worthy of paradise. And what's the point of the test? I don't get the point of the test if we can't even pass. Or if we pass, it doesn't matter. However, we still don't deserve it after passing the test, but God is so merciful. No, that's kind of like saying, that sounds like an abusive, I'm sorry if I can't say that, boy, like significant other. It's like saying, take this test, but even though you passed it, I still don't have to give you eternal life, but I will just because I'm merciful. What? What? Yes, my mother gave birth to me, yes. Oh, it goes on in circles forever and is definitely an abusive relationship. Yeah. And I refuse to participate. No. I'm not going to worship a God that would play mind games and manipulate. And wow. So if she gives you a roof and food and water, which is the bare minimum, yeah, it is. And your mom is upset at you being ungrateful. That's because you're conceptualizing a God that doesn't exist. You think that's wrong? Well, yeah. I mean, I don't understand how that equates each other, though. I have proof that my mom bore me and that she gave birth to me. I don't have proof that God made me. So I'm not really sure. You're creating in your mind of God to not believe in. Huh? So you don't think if your mom gives you the... Sorry guys, I'm not accepting guests on panel, sorry. But we're speaking from a point if he did create us. Yeah, but that's where we differ because I don't believe he did. Yeah, I wouldn't worship that. Absolutely not. I don't. And the thing is, my mother wouldn't be like that. She wouldn't be like, I gave you this, I gave you that, blah, 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 worship me. No. That's not a good person. She did it because she's my mother and she loves me, not because she expects anything back. Okay, so theoretically, if he did create us, you say you still wouldn't. No, because he's a crappy God. I wouldn't worship that kind of God. Again, I said that I do believe he could be real, yeah. But I refuse to worship him. Fuck him. Our God did the same. He loves us and wants the best for us. But he'll send us to hell, right? He loves us and wants the best for us, but he'll send us to hell. Those things don't equate to me. If he loves us and wants the best for us, why did he make a hell to begin with? Yes, but discipline and hell for eternity? That's a little overbearing, don't you think? A punishment and hell are two completely different things. Okay, if punishment is for a simple action, then what garnishes somebody to be in eternal hell forever? Why? That seems like the extreme, right, for me, because that's eternal punishment. What would be so bad that God would do that? I don't think anything on this earth constitutes that. And I'm going to get big backlash because of that. And I obviously think that there's awful things in this world that I don't agree with at all. But internal suffering, that's extreme to me. That's extreme to me. Well, we believe Muslims don't have permanent hell. Oh, I thought you were Christian. Now you're Muslim? I'm confused. I thought we were talking about Christianity. What do you mean the most? God has given us much more resources than most. Who's than most? Okay, I guess you didn't, but that's what we've been talking about this entire time, unless we've just been talking about two completely different things this whole time, because I've been saying the Christian God this whole time, and you haven't corrected me or anything. So that's what I thought we were talking about. Kids unaliving, what does that have anything to do with anything? Ooh, I'm getting a headache. Not from you, it's just I need to eat. What do you mean speaking from the Father? I'm not sure why, but it looks like you keep tagging yourself in comments. How do you know I've been doing jack with it? You don't really know my life. And okay, so if God is all knowing, right? Banter, do you believe God is all knowing? And do you believe in free will? Okay, so if God is all knowing and he gave us free will, then he knows what we would have done with that, right? With our free will. Hi. Could be, Joe. Could be. Okay, so if God is all-knowing, he knows exactly what we would have done with our free will. So he knows that we would have sinned. So he just made hell for the fun of it. Because he knew that some people would pick that choice. But he's all-powerful. He could have, just made us not have free will and made us all good. Why didn't he do that? See, these two can't coexist. You know that, right? Free will and God, all-knowing God, those can't exist at once. Okay. The point is he is all-knowing, but we still have free will, meaning we have a brain to think with. Okay, so, but I'm saying, if he is all-knowing, why would he give us free will if he knew we were gonna sin? Why, if he knew that the Schmittler was going to be birthed and unalive billions of people, why would he allow that to happen if he's all-knowing and all good? We end up defying him, but he knew that was going to happen. Why not? There is no good without evil. Why not? He could have made it that way. If I was God, I wouldn't have made evil. There would just been all good. Everybody would be happy. Everybody would be great. Why can't, if he's all powerful, why couldn't he have done that? I would have. Because the concept of good is defined by the difference. You're right, I'm not God. I wouldn't have made half of the choices he made. I still don't understand how two can be true at the same time, to be honest, Banter. And I'm not having this discussion to say you're wrong or make fun of you. I promise I'm not. I just don't understand why I don't understand these arguments. You know what I mean? And your understanding compared to him is nothing, which is why. It's illogical to think we would do what we would do from God's position. Yeah, I don't understand that. Yeah, because if he is all-knowing and all-loving, right? Why would he want babies to be unalived? Why would he want, people to be SA'd? Because he could just take it all away, couldn't he? So I don't understand why he would allow that, being all-powerful. Because those babies go straight to paradise. Is that a good reason to unalive babies? I'm sorry, but that sounds like a cop-out. That sounds like an excuse now. Testing the babies' families. Okay, so, wow. Why would you worship a God that would test the babies' families that way? Could you imagine losing a baby? Are you kidding me? And the babies were innocent. So they're just a scapegoat or something for him to test things? He's just an experiment? I'm sorry, what? So you think the living in this world is better than going straight to paradise? I don't know. But why would God do this? I don't get it. Well, maybe it'd be nice to give them a chance to live in this world. Like, Banter, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna say it, babe. You are brainwashed. I'm sorry, but it's like you are coming up with every excuse to just, back up this God and his choices and what he does, and it's scary. I'm not gonna lie. What you were saying is scaring the hell out of me. It's logic. No, logic would be him not unaliving babies and him not making a hell to begin with and him making everything all good. That would be logical. Exactly, Joe. But why is it scary if God tells me to show mercy towards people and treat others with respect? It's not that. It's the bad. The good is fine, but the bad is horrible. And the bad outweighs by 1 trillion to the good. Because the bad is really fucking bad. Like, if I'm in a relationship and the bad outweighs the good, I'm out. That's it. Because that's a healthy relationship. So do you think a baby unaliving outweighs the value of paradise? Yes. Because why can't they go to paradise later on when they've had a chance to live their life? If there's a paradise. Why take that choice? Because, he gave us choice, right? I'm sorry, I'm getting heated. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Then you must be delusional because the concept of paradise is a perfect life. I think you're delusional, Banta. I think you are coming up with every excuse to make yourself believe that he's good and all I see is bad. I disagree, Banter. Again, when the bad outweighs the fucking good, I'm out. What's my purpose in life? I feel like my purpose is to help people and yes, be happy. And, you know, I'm just here. Like, I don't feel like I really have a purpose. I'm just here. I didn't ask to be here. I just am. So, you know, what I choose to do with my life is my choice. But I understand what paradise is. But come on now. So someone can do that much evil, but as long as you go to paradise, it's all good. Exactly. That's what I don't get. Exactly. And I'll explain exactly how the bad does not outweigh the good. You don't really have to banter. I mean, to be honest, I've heard enough. Like, I don't think there's anything you can possibly say that can justify everything you've just said about unaliving babies and how it's okay. I'm sorry. And it's funny how every time I do these lives, okay, you're not Christian, but somebody comes on here talking about the Christian God and, you know, all that stuff. And guys, this is a witchcraft tarot, and tarot Q&A. Like, I don't understand why you Christians or whatever always feel the need to come up in my space, our spaces, talking about witches to say that we're wrong or we're evil. Come on. Do we do that to you? Do witches go to your church and be like, you're wrong and you're evil? Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. I've stated that these babies instantly live a much happier life than us. That's your opinion. They didn't even get a life. So, I just disagree with you, banter. Yeah, in the end, we are promised eternal happiness, and I think that right in itself is allowing you to justify a lot of evil, and you don't even see it. Just because you want paradise so bad, you're willing to outlook everything bad, everything, you know, evil that he has done. And I'm not willing to do that. I don't give a fuck about paradise. Don't unalive babies. To me, that's simple. Like, am I crazy? Maybe. But it is what it is. Yes, but the family suffers. No, but it's okay, Joe, because when they die, they go to paradise, right? If they pass a test. And sometimes they don't even pass the test. Or even sometimes they do pass the test, but it doesn't matter. Right? That's what you believe, banter. What if you're wrong? What if the babies aren't happier? What if there is no paradise and, you know, babies are just unalive now? You ever think of that? Again, it's okay because, you know, the parents will be in paradise soon, maybe. Maybe there isn't a God. You don't know that. Wild. 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 Maybe they do. I don't know. But, I mean, come on. The excuses that you're putting out there is ridiculous, to my opinion. If you say so. So, to be honest, Banter, I'm done with this conversation. I don't want to talk about the Christian God anymore. So if anybody has, because to be honest, I'm getting heated now. And I'm setting a boundary right now, Banter. I don't want to talk about the Christian God anymore. If you have any questions on witchcraft and tarot, I'll be happy to answer those. But if you continue on this path, I will have to block you. Just because I've set a boundary and that's how it is. This is my life. Yeah, we could talk about candles. Absolutely. Yeah. What you want to know about candles? Definitely a good tip to know about candles is that you have to, like, fire safety is a thing, okay? So just bear in mind, if you have an altar and you have a lot of things on your altar, you know, I like to have a big bowl and then put the candle in the bowl, and sometimes you can have water around it, you know, and then put another bowl and put the candle, just to make sure, you know. I like both, but to be honest, I can't use scented right now in my room because I have tarantulas and that could possibly give them DKS, which is like a really bad thing. Look it up, it's horrible. So I don't use it in my room, but I do like scented candles. Sometimes the color matters. It depends on your workings. But everybody sees the colors differently. You know, as far as correspondence goes, hi. If you have even a shred of open-mindedness, I advise you to read. No, I'm good, thank you, Banter. I refuse to go into that anymore. Have a good day. Welcome back. I was in earlier in your live, but it was kind of saturated. Yeah, I feel ya. Thank you, Lizzie. Thank you for coming back. When I do certain topics, people get so upset. The cis one is like the most upset people get. I 3-letter word, I don't get it. Like, people get so mad. But yeah, I get it, and it can be triggering. I had a friend up here, Jamie, earlier, that is a working on her to be a professor, and she's been teaching sociology for years, but she's still working to be a professor, because I think you have to have a PhD or some kind of degree to actually be a professor, but she's been working on that for a long time, and she got triggered. You know, she does this every day, teaching it, sociology, gender, all that stuff, and she got triggered. So I totally get it. I get triggered too. It's just, it's really not that serious. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. I seen earlier was a bit heated when I scroll through. Oh my gosh, it happens every time. And, you know, people can say what they want. Yeah, they're okay. Yeah. People can say what they want. People say that, you know, I'm just doing this to cause trauma or drama. I don't really want to know the answers I ask, you know, but I really do. I want to know why people hate that word so much. And if you watched, thank you, Lizzie. Thank you. I'm okay. But if you watch, I ask the hard questions. Like, I ask why, I ask how, I ask, you know, what, like, and the thing is, when I hit a wall a lot because they can't go into it further, because, to be honest, either they have no reason why they don't like a word, or it's transphobic and they're catching themselves in transphobic rhetoric, right? So that's probably why they don't want to go in further, because it sounds bad when they say it out loud. But I do want to know, you know, how is it pushing? Is, you know, pushing just, you know, like having representation, you know, like, why do you feel it's pushing when you're just on TikTok? Like, it's impossible to push anything on TikTok. Like, you chose to be on here. You chose to come up here and talk to me. You know, you chose to have this conversation. So how am I pushing anything, you know? I really want to know, and I just can't get a straight answer from people. And the only thing I can conclude from it is, I don't know. I don't have an answer. I don't know. Honestly, transphobia. And the thing about transphobia is, that's a word Yes, algorithm, and I try to explain that too. But transphobia, unfortunately, in my opinion, is just inherent in all of us just because of the society we are raised in. When we hear a feminine voice, when we see something feminine, or something, you know what I mean, someone, we think female, we think women automatically, right? And that's not always so. And that's why I feel like it's transphobia. It's internalized and we can't help it. I've fucked up so many times, and I admit I fuck up. And it's in my internal transphobia, and I'm trying to change it, you know, but it's hard deprogramming this stuff. I've said this plenty of times. I have a friend, Sage, that comes on here that's a trans man, and I hear his voice, and for some reason I say she. I don't know why. I can't help it, and I'm trying so hard to change. But that's my internal transphobia that I'm working on. I can admit that I have that, and it's okay to admit that, as long as you're trying to change and you're actively working on it, you know. And I find that when I talk about this, when I talk about Sage and him and everything, I'm reprogramming my brain to say him and he, right? And it's working, I think. A lot don't want or know how to have a conversation. When it offends them, they get offensive. Yeah. And that's why I try to be, you know, respectful. I expect them to be respectful to me too. But when they feel like I'm kind of pushing them in a corner because I ask why, you know, or if it's pushed, how is it pushed? You know, I'm asking these questions because I want them to maybe realize, maybe think further. Maybe they haven't thought into it that well, or just realize if they say it, then they can realize, yeah, it does have transphobic, you know, tendencies, and to change it, you know, because I'm trying, you guys. I'm not perfect. I am trying my damnedest. And I've seen trans people that have it too, that have internalized transphobia. Adora, I love her, you know, but she will admit sometimes she does it too. You know, we all have, I got a black cat. Thank you, Lizzie. But we all have it. It's just the society we were fucking raised in. And I think it needs to change. And that can only change with you, you know, you are the only person you have control over. So you are a good person. It's not easy to get people to look at all aspects. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I was seeing all these lives, and it hurt my heart because they get so much hate in the comments, and now I'm gonna cry. I just don't understand how people can be so hateful. To people they don't even know. To people they would never even meet in real life. And that can mean somebody's life. That's why people are unaliving themselves so much, is because people like that. And I just want to help. So, anyway, how do you move forward on a spiritual level? Do you do cleansing rituals after these lives? Yes, I have to. Otherwise, it can definitely trigger and stay with me. I definitely cleanse. Cleansing your phone is a great thing, by the way. Doing it, you know, internally, cleaning your drives, you know, doing the sweeps and all of that in your phone is a good method of cleansing. And actually, like, physically on it, like you can use smoke, you can use sound to cleanse. You know, I wouldn't use like water spray just because it's the phone, unless your phone is you know, not wet free, but what's it called, when it can be wet. My mind is like, that trans thing threw me for a loop. I'm sorry. But yeah, as far as move forward on a spiritual level, I think that depends on you. I think that depends on really where you are in your spiritual journey and where you want to be. Yeah, I think that's different for everybody. Thank you so much for that question. That's a good question. Thank you. And with the whole trans topic, I was lucky enough to know these things very young. My mom's best friend in the world, two of them. One was gay, and his name is Angel, and I actually have a picture of him up here that my dad bought me a big old canvas of him. He was, God, he was like my uncle. He was the best person ever. And they had a best friend. My mom and Angel had a best friend, and her name is Sam. Was Sam. She passed away a long time ago, and she was transgender. And I was about 4 or 5 at the time, and that was my mom's best friend. We would go over there all the time. And you know, I luckily knew about this stuff very, very young, you know, so I kind of grew up around it, thank goodness, you know. So maybe that's why it hits me so hard when people are so ugly to them. Or, you know, I don't know, maybe if I didn't get to know them so well, I would feel the same. I don't know. But it's just, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But let me show you, let me turn the camera around, and I'll show, whoops, no. Let me show you Angel. This is a picture of me and Angel. We were actually on the beach for, what is it? Memorial Day is when all the LGBTQIA goes on the beach and has a big party. I can't remember. I think it might be Memorial Day. I don't think it's Labor Day. But it's one of those holidays, right? But yeah, that's him. If you look in his glasses, I'm holding a flip phone. I don't know if you can see it, but it was a long time ago. But yeah, I miss him dearly, and he was just the best person, you know. He had AIDS, so, but he lived a long time with it, and he lived a long time when there wasn't any, you know, treatment or nothing, you know. There was medicine to try to contain it, but, you know, he lived like 25 years, having this disease, and, you know, just being amazing, you know. He absolutely does, yes. Yeah, I believe that. He actually came to me in a dream the other night, which was nice, and he looked so healthy. His face was filled out, you know, because the last time I saw him, he was so skinny and small and, you know, sick. But he looked so good in that dream. He looked so happy. So, yeah. I miss him so much. I miss Sam too. See, but the thing is, even back then, this was in the 90s, okay, so early 90s. Same, Lizzie, same. You know, when we knew Sam, and I'm not faulting my mom at all just because it was a different time, but she would call him he, and I called him he, and, you know, I'm gonna call him she now, just because I think that's who she was. But, you know, Sam never said anything. He never complained about it. You know, it just, it's really complicated, you know. Maybe my mom just didn't understand back then. Maybe they never had the talk, you know. But, I mean, she had top surgery and everything, you know. So, she was, she had a lot of, physical problems, so she was kind of bedridden for the most part. You know, she was a bigger woman, but maybe they just never had the conversation. Maybe I don't know, but from now on, I'm gonna call Sam she when I talk about her, because I think that's what she would want. Anyway, yeah. So, I guess I'm gonna go. Thank you guys so much for coming up here and talking with me. And, Banter might be gone, but if you're still here, I really, I really thank you for respecting my boundaries when I say stop talking about Christianity, for real, because a lot of people that I talk to on here don't do that, and they just keep on and on and on. So I respect you for that. I appreciate it. Crazy, wild ideas, but it is what it is. But thank you all for coming. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you so much. If you are interested in tarot, I do other lives where I do readings. I said do. So if it might be something you want to consider to subscribe to me, because when I do those lives, I will be giving all my subscribers free 3-card readings. Okay, every time I do those lives, I will set some time at the end of those lives to give you free readings. So just so you know, obviously I'm not making anybody do anything. I'm not pushing you to do anything. So thank you, Lizzie. Thank you, Joe, for the chat. I enjoyed it also. And thank you for the follow. Thank you everything. I appreciate it. Pleasant screams, bugs and kisses, and stay magical, my friends. Bye, guys. Have a good night.